Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The Washington Commanders find themselves at the center of a stormy offseason, and it begins with a surprising decision that has left quarterback Jayden Daniels visibly blindsided and disappointed. Reports surfaced on Tuesday that the team has parted ways with offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury, a move that Daniels reportedly did not see coming and strongly opposed. According to NFL insider Jordan Schultz, several key offensive players, including Daniels himself, were disappointed by the timing and nature of the decision. In fact, Daniels had publicly vouched for Kingsbury to remain with the team just a day prior, during a press conference on Monday, and the sudden announcement left him caught off guard, highlighting a growing tension between the player and the franchise's management. While the Commanders presented the departure as a mutual decision, sources suggest that head coach Dan Quinn ultimately made the final call, underscoring a bold approach to restructuring the team's coaching staff following a dismal 5-win, 12-loss season in 2025. The decision has raised questions about how much influence Daniels will have moving forward in the selection of Kingsbury's replacement, as the quarterback's buy-in will be critical to the offense's future success. Kingsbury's exit is particularly significant given the relationship he developed with Daniels during his rookie campaign in 2024. That season, Daniels earned the prestigious Offensive Rookie of the Year award, thanks in no small part to Kingsbury's innovative schemes and the trust placed in the young quarterback. Injuries limited Daniels to only 7 games in the following season, and as expected, the team's offense regressed substantially. Despite the setbacks, Daniels' confidence in Kingsbury's leadership never wavered, making the sudden parting even more jarring. This scenario raises larger questions about the Commanders' internal communication and whether player input is adequately considered in coaching decisions. For a quarterback who has already faced the frustration of being sidelined before the end of the 2025 season due to injuries, this latest development could impact his morale and relationship with the organization. The franchise now faces the delicate task of navigating a transition in offensive leadership while ensuring their star quarterback remains engaged and committed to the team's vision. Meanwhile, the veteran presence in Washington has also been undergoing a transformation, particularly with running back Austin Ekeler, who has captured the hearts of fans in just 2 seasons. Ekeler's recent Instagram post, which included a photo of him in burgundy and gold alongside the heartfelt caption, "Some of my most memorable years playing this sport. Thanks DMV, thanks Commanders Nation," HDTC, resonated widely, sparking conversations about his future with the team. The post, while brief, carried a reflective and appreciative tone, signaling that Ekeler's time in Washington was meaningful not just professionally, but personally. The running back arrived in Washington ahead of the 2024 season, bringing both versatility and veteran leadership to a team undergoing an offensive transition. Known for his dual-threat capability as both a runner and a receiver, Ekeler immediately became an integral piece of the offense, contributing in multiple facets and demonstrating a work ethic that endeared him to teammates and fans alike. His impact on the field, combined with his off-field professionalism, cemented his role as a respected figure within the locker room. Ekeler's first season in Washington was notable despite being curtailed by injuries. In limited action, he rushed for 367 yards and 4 touchdowns on 77 carries, while adding 35 receptions for 366 yards. Unfortunately, injuries including multiple concussions and a torn Achilles tendon ended his first year prematurely, limiting his ability to contribute fully to the team's postseason ambitions. Nonetheless, he returned in 2025 with high expectations, only to suffer another devastating Achilles injury in Week 2 against the Green Bay Packers. That injury ended his season after just 2 games, with Ekeler totaling 43 rushing yards and 38 receiving yards before being sidelined. The unfortunate timing of these injuries has cast a shadow over what could have been a defining chapter of his career in Washington, and the emotional resonance of his farewell message on social media underscores the mutual respect and admiration between Ekeler and the fan base. Before joining the Commanders, Ekeler spent 7 productive seasons with the Los Angeles Chargers, establishing himself as one of the league's premier dual-threat running backs and leading the NFL in total touchdowns twice. His decision to enter free agency in 2024 and request a trade reflected a desire for a new opportunity, ultimately leading him to Washington. The transition to a new city and team was smooth, as Ekeler's leadership and versatility provided immediate value, helping to stabilize a young and evolving offense. Despite injuries limiting his contributions, his professionalism and impact on the team culture were widely recognized, earning praise from coaches, teammates, and fans alike. Ekeler's tenure in Washington, though brief, exemplifies the type of veteran presence that can make a difference not just on the field, but in shaping a team's identity and supporting younger players like Daniels during periods of growth and transition. As the Commanders enter the offseason, roster decisions loom large, and the recent developments surrounding Daniels and Ekeler highlight a period of uncertainty for the franchise. Daniels' disappointment over Kingsbury's departure illustrates the delicate balance the organization must maintain in managing its star quarterback while executing coaching and strategic changes. At the same time, Ekeler's reflective message raises questions about potential departures or shifts in veteran leadership. The franchise faces the challenge of maintaining continuity, ensuring player satisfaction, and preparing for a future that builds on both talent and trust. Decisions made now regarding coaching hires, roster adjustments, and player engagement could shape the team's trajectory for years to come, particularly in an era where player influence and communication with management have become critical factors in sustaining success. The Commanders' leadership must weigh the importance of securing Daniels' buy-in for offensive strategy while also acknowledging the contributions of veteran players like Ekeler, who have left a lasting imprint on the team culture. The dual narrative of Daniels' blindsided frustration and Ekeler's reflective farewell encapsulates the broader, transitional moment for Washington. On one hand, a young quarterback with proven potential seeks stability, guidance, and a say in shaping the offense around him, underscoring the need for careful handling of coaching changes and roster decisions. On the other hand, a veteran running back's appreciation of his brief but impactful tenure illustrates the human side of the sport, where bonds between players, teams, and fans often extend beyond statistics and performance. Balancing these dynamics is critical as the franchise navigates an offseason filled with coaching reshuffles, injury recoveries, and strategic planning for the next campaign. How the Commanders reconcile player expectations, organizational priorities, and fan engagement will define not only the success of the next season, but also the long-term credibility and culture of the team. Daniels' continued growth as a quarterback, paired with the lessons learned from veteran contributions like Ekeler's, represents a pivotal moment for Washington as they attempt to transition from a disappointing campaign to a more competitive and cohesive unit. Looking ahead, the decisions made by the Commanders over the coming months will reverberate across the roster and potentially influence player retention, free agency strategies, and draft priorities. Ensuring that Daniels feels valued and heard could help stabilize the offense and prevent alienation of a young leader critical to the team's success. Simultaneously, respecting the legacy and contributions of players like Ekeler demonstrates an organizational commitment to recognizing effort, character, and professionalism. With both stars and supporting players navigating uncertainty, Washington must strike a careful balance between short-term adjustments and long-term vision. The team's approach to hiring a new offensive coordinator, managing injuries, and engaging key veterans will be scrutinized by fans and analysts alike, making the offseason a true test of leadership, communication, and strategic foresight. In the end, the ability of the Commanders to reconcile player satisfaction with bold organizational decisions will define the narrative of this transitional period, shaping both the morale within the locker room and the perception of the franchise in the eyes of the public. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. Finally, beyond the immediate excitement and tactical considerations, the speculation surrounding Hill's rumored commitment to the Commanders taps into a broader narrative about legacy, ambition, and the desire to leave a lasting mark on the league. Sources hint that Hill may view this move as an opportunity not just to showcase his talents, but to redefine what a superstar receiver can accomplish in a team that is ready to build around him. The conversations among insiders suggest that both the player and the franchise may see this as a mutually beneficial alignment, a pairing that could create memorable moments, influence locker room culture, and, if everything aligns perfectly, reshape the perception of the Commanders in the eyes of the league and fans alike. While nothing is confirmed, the rumor alone has generated excitement, anticipation, and speculation that is likely to dominate sports media discussions for weeks, as analysts, commentators, and fans alike attempt to predict how one of the most dynamic players in football history could impact a franchise eager to return to prominence. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders. In a move that has the entire football world buzzing, whispers and sources close to the league suggest that TYREEK Hill, widely regarded as one of the most electrifying wide receivers of his generation, may have just taken a step that could redefine the trajectory of his career. Reports circulating behind the scenes hint at a potential 4-year commitment with the Washington Commanders, a franchise that has been quietly but aggressively looking to reshape its offensive identity. While no official statements have landed in the public sphere just yet, insiders are painting a picture of a deal that could bring Hill's unparalleled speed and playmaking ability to a team that has been hungry for a superstar capable of altering the balance of power in the NFC East. The notion of Hill in a Commander's uniform is already sending ripples through social media and sports media circles, with fans and analysts alike speculating about how his presence could change the dynamics of Washington's passing attack, and perhaps even the fortunes of their quarterback, whose own development may be closely tied to the arrival of a talent like Hill. Imagining the potential chemistry, rumors suggest that Hill's arrival could immediately elevate the team's offensive scheme, transforming plays that once relied on traditional routes into highlight reel moments that redefine expectations week after week. Sources who have been tracking the situation hint that the Commanders are not just acquiring a player, but an athlete capable of stretching the field in ways few defenders can anticipate, potentially forcing opponents to rethink coverage schemes entirely. The mere prospect of Hill lining up against a defense that is unprepared for his blend of acceleration and agility could create matchups that are almost unfair, opening lanes for other receivers and putting pressure on defensive coordinators to innovate on the fly. It's easy to imagine a scenario where his presence becomes the catalyst for a seismic shift in Washington's offensive philosophy, nudging the team toward a more dynamic, explosive identity that has perhaps been missing in recent years. Speculation about the mechanics of the deal also adds another layer of intrigue. Rumors circulating in league circles suggest that the 4-year agreement is structured to balance immediate impact with long-term sustainability, possibly including incentives that reward Hill for performance milestones, touchdowns, and yards gained. While the financial specifics remain the subject of conjecture, insiders hint that the team is aiming to ensure that Hill remains motivated to deliver peak performance while also maintaining the flexibility to manage its roster effectively. Some sources suggest that this could be part of a larger strategy by the Commanders' front office to surround their star receiver with a combination of talent and coaching that maximizes his abilities, a calculated move that could signal a commitment to contending at the highest level. Beyond the numbers and contract structure, the narrative swirling around this potential signing is electric. Hill's reputation as a game-changing talent precedes him, and rumors indicate that his integration into the Commanders' locker room could bring more than just athletic firepower. Sources intimate that his presence could foster a culture shift, introducing a level of intensity and professionalism that resonates across the roster. The idea that Hill's work ethic and competitive mindset might influence young receivers, tight ends, and even the quarterback adds a layer of intrigue to what some insiders are already calling a transformative moment for the franchise. There is talk among analysts and observers that having Hill on the roster could accelerate the development of emerging talent, perhaps even altering the trajectory of players who are on the cusp of breakout seasons, simply through exposure to his elite-level preparation and game-time instincts. The fan reaction, according to online chatter and unofficial reports from social media analysts, is one of cautious optimism mixed with disbelief. Imagining the explosive plays, the long touchdown sprints, and the game-changing receptions has already set off a flurry of digital discussions. Some speculate that Hill's style of play could redefine what it means to be a receiver in today's league, pushing defenses to adopt entirely new approaches, while others wonder if the Commanders' offensive system can fully harness his talents. Sources suggest that discussions within the organization have centered on how to integrate Hill seamlessly without disrupting existing offensive schemes, with whispers pointing to specialized playbooks and targeted routes designed to maximize his unique skill set. The anticipation is so high that even casual fans are reportedly discussing hypothetical scenarios, predicting highlight reels, and imagining the potential implications for the division, all based on the rumored signing. There are also subtle undercurrents of strategic positioning behind this potential acquisition. League insiders hint that the Commanders' management may be thinking several moves ahead, using Hill's arrival as a signal to competitors that they are serious about contending in the NFC. The rumor mill suggests that Hill's rumored deal could be part of a broader effort to attract complementary talent, creating a domino effect in free agency that positions Washington as a serious player in the league's upper echelons. Analysts speculate that the mere suggestion of Hill on the roster could influence other free agents to consider Washington as a destination, knowing that a superstar of his caliber could dramatically elevate their own production and chances of success. In essence, the speculation extends beyond individual talent and into a grander vision, with Hill acting as a linchpin in a potentially ambitious rebuild or rebranding of the team's competitive identity. Another angle fueling speculation involves the impact on game day strategy. Rumors indicate that coaches and offensive coordinators may be exploring new formations and plays specifically designed to leverage Hill's explosive speed and agility. Observers suggest that the team might experiment with motions, jet sweeps, and deep threat concepts that allow Hill to exploit defenses before they can adjust, creating a level of unpredictability that could make the Commanders one of the most difficult teams to defend against. Insiders hint that his presence may also influence the development of the running game, as defenses forced to respect Hill's vertical threat could inadvertently open lanes for running backs. The strategic implications, according to the rumor mill, extend far beyond a single player, potentially altering play-calling tendencies, red zone efficiency, and overall offensive balance.